Hey guys, and welcome to episode number 1 of this FIFA 18 career mode. Feels like I've been waiting forever to say that. As you can tell by the title and probably the thumbnail, we're going to be starting this one with Spurs. They won the straw poll vote only just by a narrow margin, but they won it nonetheless. You can see the board expectations and the priorities. Domestic success is critical, so we're going to have to deliver from a domestic point of view. Continental success and brand exposure, high priorities. Financial and youth development, medium priorities. We're rated 4.5 star. We've got a transfer budget of nearly 63 million to improve the squad. We're going to look at some potential targets in a minute. And of course, we're going to be playing our home grounds at Wembley Stadium. We're going to have a load of FIFA 18 content coming for you guys. So if you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. If you're hyped for this series, please do smash the thumbs up. And let's jump into it. First task then is to decide which pre-season tournament we're going to enter. You know me, those of you that have been around before, always the one with the most money, most prize money available, regardless of how difficult it is. So the European International Cup is what we'll enter. So a couple of important emails to begin. Obviously, in the recent board meeting, they've set as a goal of £131 million to be generated from the sales of player shirts. In order to do that, we're probably going to need to make at least one marquee signing. That'll obviously boost the sales. And look at the board vision and expectations. Let's just have a look. We touched on the priorities here, but within 2 seasons, they want us to reach the final of the Champions League. That's difficult. They want us to qualify for the Champions League and win the FA Cup. They said domestic success was key, so they want a top 4 finish and an FA Cup win. That's going to be quite difficult. In terms of youth development, which is a medium priority, they want us to sign 1 youth player. You can see them here, and grow 1 youth player. In terms of brand exposure, we just had a look at that email. £132 million to be raised through the sale of player shirts. Short-term success, qualify for the Champions League and win it within 2 seasons. We've already touched upon that. So they want a top 4 finish, they want the FA Cup, and within 2 seasons, they want us to also win the Premier League. So they're setting the bar quite high, but we knew that coming to a club like Spurs. On the up, they've got some great players. There's no reason why they cannot be challenging for trophies at domestic level and even European level. So now I think it's time to go through the squad, familiarise ourselves, pick out the key players, and also pick out the areas of the team that we want to improve, which will help us identify any transfer targets and players that we might want to bring in the future. I love this new squad hub screen. It's a lot more informative than the previous squad list. Let's just go down. We've got quite a few goalkeepers at the club. Some of them I think will probably loan out, especially the youngsters. We've got 3 young goalkeepers, and then we've got the experienced Vorm, and then we've got Gazzaniga as well. So not sure we need all of them. I might look to move some of them on, but we'll see. Some young right-backs. We've obviously got Kyle Walker-Peters and Kieran Trippier after Kyle Walker himself left for Manchester City. And the new boy Aurier as well. Very excited to have him in the squad. He was a go-to right-back for a lot of FIFA players last year. Carter Vickers is out on loan at Sheffield United, but defensively, I feel like is where we are the strongest. Eric Dyer is obviously listed as a centre-back. Can step in and play that anchorman role in midfield as well if we need to. But Vertonghen and Alderweireld are probably the strongest centre-back pairing in the Premier League, in my opinion. We've obviously got new boy Davinson Sanchez, as well a very good left-back in Danny Rose, and a very decent backup left-back in Ben Davies. So defensively, I think we're fine, we're solid. There's no real urgency to improve that area of the team. And Spurs, it's quite a luxury to be Spurs, because they're strong in midfield as well. Victor Wanyama can do that holding role very, very well. Now, thinking of players that I'm thinking of moving on, so thinking far too many times there, Sissoko is probably the main one. He's got a 4-year deal left, but I don't think he's quite of the quality that we need. He's a good squad player, but we don't really want squad players. We want quality throughout. So I'm going to add Sissoko to the transfer list. Let me know what you think. And also, Eric Lamela is a player that I'm a little bit iffy on. I'm not going to add him to the transfer list just yet. I want you guys to let me know in the comments whether you think we should sell him or not. We've got a lot of youngsters. Again, we will look to get them loaned out. Harry Winks, I'm going to keep in the squad. I think for the League Cup, the Carabao Cup, or whatever it's called now, he will be a decent utility player. We're obviously going to be having games in Europe as well. We got Nkudu, not really hit the mark since joining, but I believe he can perform for us, so I'm going to keep him around, I think. And then we got this guy, like Ultimate Team last year. He was an absolute weapon. Sonaldo, they called him. And hopefully he can produce that kind of form for us here in the career mode. And then probably the most important player for me at Spurs is Christian Eriksen. Feels like he's been around forever, still only 25, valued at £57 million. We're going to make sure we do everything we can to keep this guy in the squad. We've got Onoma out at Aston Villa. Dele Alli, one of the brightest young talents in the Premier League, in Europe, in my opinion. So again, he's going to be a player that we're desperate to keep hold of. He's part of like a key triplet here, you know, with Kane, Ali and Eriksen. If we keep them free, we can do some serious damage. New boy Fernando Llorente as a backup striker. I'm cool with that. Vincent Janssen, obviously, loaned out to Fenerbahce. Didn't really hit the ground running at Spurs despite a previously good goal-scoring record. And then the main man up front, Harry Kane. We need him, if we're going to be successful, to be banging in 25 plus goals a season. Let me know what you think about Lamela. Let me know what you think about Sissoko. Sissoko, the only player to be transfer listed at this point. So even though I didn't transfer list him, we've actually received a bid from Manchester City for Eric Lamela. Now I know he's quality, but he doesn't feature a lot for Spurs. He has his fair share of injury problems. What we're going to do is obviously check out the new transfer cutscene here. It's not something I've ever seen before, so I'm going to go to negotiate. And we're going to skip through now to the cutscene. Now, I've obviously seen videos of this, but haven't experienced it myself. So, this will be cool. The bald eagle that is Pep Guardiola in the office. Let's get started with negotiations, shall we? See what he has to say. Now, I don't know how lenient they are with their sort of... Like, you used to be able to send counter offers for large sums of money, and clubs would probably agree to it. Eric Lamela is currently valued at 16.5. I think I'm gonna ask for 30, but I don't want to annoy Pep and price City out of the deal, but I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna ask for 30 million and see what they say. Come on, Pep, let's talk business, son. I do love these new transfer cutscenes, by the way. I know there is a danger that all career mode videos could just be full of this, but you do have the option to skip it, as you can see by holding X. They want Lamela in our team, but cannot offer more than 14.4. That's below his valuation, Pep. Going to counter that again. I want to get at least... I'm going to come down. I'm going to come down to 24. And let's see. Because obviously we've dropped that by 6 mil now. We've dropped that asking price. Is that more in Pep's range? 14 mil is just a no-go. I'd rather keep him in the squad. We were hoping to complete this deal, but your revised fee Lamela is still far too high. We'll be looking elsewhere for alternative options. I couldn't make this work. Goodbye. So Pep has stormed out. Eric Lamela remains a Tottenham player. Maybe I've got quite a bit to learn when it comes to negotiating with other managers. But hey, that's what this is all about. Let's have some fun. The deal's got to work for us. I'm not just selling players on the cheap because Pep comes in the office and demands it. So I think from looking at our squad, especially, the main area that we need to improve in, sort of immediately, is out wide. Particularly if we're going to let Sissoko and Lamela go, providing someone comes back in for Lamela. So I've put 3 players on the shortlist. Obviously on FIFA 17 you'd just have a massive shortlist and you'd chuck bids in for everybody, but now that we actually have to take the time and sit down with the individual managers of each club and negotiate a deal, I think it's going to be a case of keeping a small shortlist, identifying your main target and going in for it. And that main target for me has got to be quality, so I think it's going to be either Yannick Carrasco or Riyad Mahrez. I've left Justin Kluivert on this list because he is one for the future and he could come in and help us when the fixture congestion gets a little bit tough. I'm actually heading in to the Atletico Madrid management office here. I'm going to make a deal, or hopefully make a deal, for Yannick Carrasco. He's a quality player. I've used him last year in career mode and on Ultimate Team, and he really delivered for me. He's got high valuation though. 45.5 million is what he's valued at. I'm going to hopefully try and get him. I don't really want to be paying any more than, well, it would be almost our entire budget, wouldn't it? Let's see if we can offer a player swap. First of all, they might be interested in Eric Lamela if we can put him in the deal. They're proposing 77.3 million plus Lamela. That is absolutely not going to be the case. 50 million. Actually, we'll 45. We'll pay his value and chuck Eric Lamela in there for good measure. Let's see if they'll agree to that. I can't see it happening, but if not, I'll add a sell-on clause. They've upped it. They've literally upped it now to 77.4 million. What kind of guy is this, you know, negotiating? What's an absolute joker? I'm going to counter that. I'll add a sell-on clause. They can do that. 20%. New transfer. I just want to punch this guy in the face. These negotiations are making me angry already. 52, 55. We'll add an extra 10 million and we'll give him a 20% sell-on clause. Submit offer. I still feel like that we're already overpaying at this, but he is my main transfer target. Sorry, I believe Carrasco is worth more than what you're willing to offer. We're not willing to reduce his price any further. Alright, that's us out of that deal. God, this is tough, this negotiation malarkey. Final offer, Eric Lamela, plus £60 million. Take it or leave it. I'm not playing, I'm not being mugged off here. Can't accept those terms. Cannot accept those terms. Absolute nightmare. So that's 2 attempts at negotiating, none of which were successful. So we're paying Leicester City a visit now to try and negotiate a deal for Riyad Mahrez. You can see Craig Shakespeare there. Mahrez, incidentally, has a £53.3 million release clause in his contract. So if we pay that, we're going to get the bid accepted, whatever. But I'm going to try and undercut them, see if we can get him a bit cheaper. Going to, again, offer Eric Lamela as bait and see if Leicester would be interested in a player swap. So they are interested in a player swap, but they want a right back. This is where we need to be careful, because we've got Aurier, Kyle Walker-Peters, and we have got another right back at the club, haven't we? So let's just... It's Kieran Trippier, who I actually quite like. And Kyle Walker-Peters would only take £1 million off the deal, so we wouldn't really benefit from that. I can't chuck a right back in, but what I might try and do is offer... No, I can't. They want a right back. We're just going to offer the fee. So he's got a release clause of 53 million, like I said. Will they accept a straight up cash deal of 35? Let's have a look. So they are willing to undercut the release clause. They want 41.7 million and 10% of his future transfer fee. I think I'm happy with that. I am going to accept that. I could have probably lowballed them a little bit, but I'm happy. I'm happy. That's good. So now that we've agreed a deal with the club, it's time for Mahrez and his agent to sit down and for us to sort of hash out his contract and get personal terms agreed upon as well. I think it'd be an important first team player. I don't think it'd be crucial to us because he is at Leicester, but we've got better quality players than that. So let's see what they say. It's a good start to negotiations. We're on the same page regarding his playing time. Sometimes they tell you their demands, but they're literally leaving it all to me here. So I'm going to put a 3-year deal on the table for Mahrez. Hopefully that'll be enough for him. No, it's not. He wants a 5-year contract, which is fine. That'll take him up to the age of 31. And by that point, we'll be looking to get rid of him anyway. I want to keep the squad young and I want to keep it fresh. So, yep, 5-year Mahrez. If that's what you want, mate, that's what you can have. Mahrez wants a release clause put in his contract. So I'm going to offer to put a £75 million release clause in. Now he's saying he wants a £71 million release clause. That's a bit more realistic, Riyad, and yes, I'm happy to agree to those demands. As you can see, I've offered £90,000 a week and a signing on bonus of £1 million. He's currently on 78 grand a week at Leicester. Let's see. My client is keen to join your team. Be willing to lower his demands to 92 per week to make it happen. We'd then be looking for a signing bonus of 1.2 mil, an additional bonus of 630,000 when he scores 5 goals. That's not too bad. That is not far away from what we offered. So I am happy. We've agreed personal terms with Riyad Mahrez, and it looks as though he's going to become the first signing of this career mode, and I'm very happy with that. I think with Mahrez coming in, that opens the door for me to sell Eric Lamela. So going back in to the squad hub then to put Lamela on the shortlist, I'm also going to add Vorm, backup goalkeeper, to the transfer list as well. He's valued at 5.5 mil and he is in the last year of his contract, and at the age of 33 I'm not going to be offering him a new deal, so I'd rather just recoup the money that we can for him. And yes, Eric Lamela added to the transfer list as well. Let's have view offers there. Let's have a look at those. What's the deal? City, yeah, that's an old offer. Okay, cool. So we're going to jump into our first game of this career mode, albeit a friendly in the European International Cup. We'll be taking on Sevilla, so a tough test for us. I've edited the team sheet to a formation that I think could be one that we play a lot this season, but don't read too much into this result because it is only a friendly. But this, I think, is my strongest 11. The only real surprise is there's no place in there for Victor Wanyama, but I do like to have both Ali and Eriksen in a more sort of attacking role, playing behind Harry Kane. I think that is where they'll be utilised and most effective, to be honest with you. Let's jump in. Those of you that know me know I always play on Legendary. No sliders as yet, so just a standard Legendary difficulty. Let's jump in and see how we get on. I absolutely love how interactive the crowd are on FIFA 18. Really lovely touch and gives a whole new feel to the game. Obviously this man and this man in the headlines today. Riyad Mahrez and Serge Aurier making their first appearances for us here. Even though it's a non-competitive game, it will be interesting to see how they get on. FIFA 18 is upon us. Been waiting for this moment for a very long time. Now let's put in a performance to be proud of. Pizarro plays the ball into Montoya. Back to Pizarro. Shooting opportunity for him here. They're working it nicely, Sevilla. Obviously gave Liverpool a tough test at Anfield in the Champions League. Held my breath there. Thought Muriel had scored. Here's Aurier. Got some space to run into. He's got Mahrez to his right. He's got Harry Kane through the middle. Kane onto Ali. Touched on one more. Son. Oh, there we go. First goal of this career mode. Beautifully worked. Scored by Heung-min Son at the back post. Absolutely brilliant finish. And he smashes the corner flag for good measure. Really fast flowing play. 20 minutes into this one. Eriksen onto Ali. One touch. Onto Son. And smash. Correa, nice ball through. Oh, wow. That is some shocking defended. Ball played across. Danny Rose has to scramble it clear at the back stick. 5 minutes before the break. Set piece we're going to play short. Alderweireld with a shooting opportunity. Instead picks out Ali. Lays it off to Kane. Touch and strike. Harry Kane. You beauty. We know he's got that kind of quality in him. And Sevilla should know that you cannot give a man of his quality that kind of time and space on the edge of the box, or he's going to punish you. Just a quick set piece. Alderweireld to Ali. Seemingly no danger here, but there's always danger when Harry Kane's on the ball. Then just run down the left. Ball is crossed in. Hugo Lloris gets a punch on it. Sevilla have certainly not been outplayed in this one, and probably, if I'm being honest, do not deserve to be 2 goals behind, but that's football for you. Dele Alli now. Lovely ball into the path of Riyad Mahrez. Could get worse for Sevilla here before half-time. Mahrez always going to look to cut back. He has done. Anyone to lay it off to? He's been brought down. Hey, Harry Kane went down as well. All under one challenge. It's a penalty. See, I don't think a penalty would have been given for the initial tackle on Mahrez, but the fact that he caught Kane as well gave the referee no choice. Harry Kane is going to... And Harry Kane is going to be the man to step up and take this spot kick. Let's see what he can do. I might have blasted that over, actually. Oh, I've hit the crossbar. Oh, first penalty on FIFA 18 ends with a miss. Half-time whistle goes, though. 2 goals to the good. Not much to complain about other than that. Oh, lovely 1-2. Lovely 1-2-3 between Muriel and Nzonzi here. Ball is played to the back stick. There's a man waiting. Correa. What kind of finish was that? Real opportunity there for Sevilla. He didn't take it. Mahrez into Eriksen. Back to Riyad Mahrez. Good understanding between Nubo and his teammates thus far. Mahrez skips into the box. He's on his left foot now. Hits the shot. It deflects rather fortunately for him, but it's a goal on his first appearance for his new club. Riyad Mahrez. Take a bow, son. Take a bow. I think that's being a bit complimentary. Look, the shot was going actually straight at the goalkeeper before it hit the defender, but he'll take it nonetheless, and that'll do his confidence an absolute world of good. Hopefully more of that to come. That's why I like playing Mahrez on the right, and that's why I think he naturally plays on the right, so he can cut inside with that wand of a left foot of his and just do damage. Mahrez plays the ball down the right-hand side. Aurier is there. Got Christian Eriksen making a run in the middle. Can he hit this first time, Eriksen? Oh, he's hit the bar. Good effort. Unlucky. Could have been 4-0. Could have been an absolute whitewash. So set piece for Sevilla. Eva Banega stands it up into the box, but that's a poor delivery by his standards. And now we can break. We've got numbers forward. Dele Alli, Mahrez to his right, Son to his left. Ali taking his time. He's picked out Mahrez. Touched on beautifully to Eriksen. Going to strike one across goal. Good save by Diaz. Son, can he win the header? He can, but not enough power to get it over the line. Mahrez has won possession back. I thought a free kick was going to be given there, but it wasn't. Can Harry Kane finish? You know he can. Never any doubt when Harry Kane is through on goal. What kind of celebration have I done there? I'm not proud of that. Oh dear. Luckily the fans don't care, but credit to Riyad Mahrez for winning the ball, just rolling it into the path of Kane, who just slotted it into the corner. Muriel plays the ball out to the left. Here's Correa. Oh, lovely ball in. Mercado, can he finish? No, he cannot. Hugo Lloris with an absolutely brilliant save. Full-time whistle goes. First outing, so far so good. 4-0 win. Scoreline doesn't really reflect the pattern of the game though. Sevilla did have some decent chances themselves at key points in the game as well, but they couldn't take them and we made them pay. Brilliant win. So look who is paying us a visit. Jose Mourinho, the man himself. He's interested in our midfielder, Victor Wanyama. But this is not going to be an easy negotiation. Let me tell you, I'm not keen to sell. They've put in a bid of 22 million. Gone back to Mourinho and said it's going to take you £42.5 million to take Wanyama off our hands. He is a good player for us. Obviously, he didn't play in that last game. We do have Moussa Dembele that can do that central midfield role as well. But oh, he didn't take long, did he? Got a short fuse, hasn't he, Jose? But this negotiation lark is hard. I can't stop laughing about that. You can see how visibly angry Jose was. But I feel like that is a good point to end this first episode. Like I said, drop a like if you enjoyed this. Please do subscribe as well if you are new to the channel. But I don't want to get too far ahead in the recording of this because I want you guys to give me your feedback on transfer suggestions and players that you think we should sell going forward. But that's a good point to end it, guys. I will see you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching as well. Appreciate all the support.